Hey there, it's Trisha, and I wanted to go over the setups for Thursday, June 24th on the NQ. I'll follow this up with a video over the weekend on setups from the ES from yesterday. I haven't been trading the ES, but I'm more than happy to do a video so you guys can check it out. And we're using the new setup called the Kaboom, and you should have your updated ebook. I updated it a few weeks ago. Anybody who's gotten it since then, you do have the most recent version. And anybody who purchased before that, if you need a copy of the revised setups, just send me an email and I'll be happy to get that to you. But most of you should have it by now. And if you don't and you want more information, you can go to www.easyemintrade.com. So I'm going to quickly go over this because there were a ton of entry setups on Thursday, and I'm just going to quickly go through them, tell you the time. All the settings and requirements are in the ebook, and basically what we're looking for is the side of the moving average that we are trading on our 3000 tick chart. That's the direction that you'll be looking for. So if you're trading under it, you're looking for shorts. You're trading above it, you're looking for longs. Below it, shorts. And if you have a very strong trend in one direction or the other, even though you might get, like for example here, we're moving higher. Even if you got a close below this, I would not be looking for a short, at least for me. I'm going to stick with the overall trend. So with that said, whatever side of the moving average you're on, you're looking for the entry. Here's the open right here and here. And you do have a setup first thing in the morning, and I pass on that. It's at 9:33. No real direction yet at that time, but you can see that it works out regardless. Like I said, 9:33. You're still above the moving average here, but there's no real direction. It works out for actually first target, second target. This entry here, this is at 9:40. Sets up for a short. We are below the moving average, and takes a little while to work out, and depending on where you got filled, and once you got your first target of 2 and then move your stop to your entry, if you would have been stopped out when it popped higher here, I was able to actually get my first 2 targets and move my final target on my final third just above the close from the previous day. So I was able to be in this for the whole entire move lower here until here. If I hadn't moved my my final target just above there, then I could have captured this move without having to re-enter. But if you were stopped out once you got your first target here, you did have an opportunity to re-enter here, and that was at 9:49. Everything's in line to take it. Notice everything's turning back to red here. Here, when we first get the setup, the line is crossing below the 0. Everything is red or below 0, depending on how you're coloring your indicator. So you take it short and it works out. Here, everything turns back to red. Line still moving lower, so you can take it. Here, same thing, almost disappears. The red almost disappears back up to 0 and then starts to increase in size again, and you can take that. So either these were 3 trades for you on this one move lower, or 1 trade depending on how you managed it, or for me it was actually 2 trades here and here because I was still in right here on this one. Here's a setup that occurred for a buy, and that was at 10:06, and wouldn't have been interested here when it first crossed above 0 and histogram starts to turn green, because we're not above the moving average over here at that point yet. Or I'm not. There are people that will take them in both directions as they set up, regardless of what side of the moving average they're in or what the overall trend is doing. That will be for you to decide. The opportunity for re-entry was here when it got back closed above both of these moving averages here and increasing in size. You can notice the histograms increasing in size and the line moving higher. So opportunity for re-entry on that one. Another nice trade. Here was an entry that we took here right as the lines crossing below 0. Histogram plotting below 0. We're trading below the moving average here, and that was at 10:14. Another opportunity here at 10:19 for a buy, and that you are trading above the moving average. You're kind of going sideways here when you look at the broader view on the market, on the tick chart here of the market, or I should say of this market on this price, but there's plenty of room to take it, likely expecting to get back up to this area of resistance created here. That's where the 50% Fibonacci number is as well. So you enter here and boom, works out for first two targets and then some. Entry here, took this one at 10:30, almost 10:31, everything turning red, trading below the moving average, close below the moving averages here, take the short. I will tell you that the strongest move will come when you first get that moving average when you first get this line crossing below zero. And then of course you are always taking the risk of when you get the opportunity to re-enter. So nonetheless, you had a re-entry opportunity here at 10:41 when everything's turning back to red. Notice the histogram goes from green to red. You wouldn't be interested in this green here because you're not above the moving average over here. So you wouldn't be interested in that if you're sticking with the overall trend and what side of the moving average you're on. So if you didn't get in here, you actually had an opportunity here again at 10:52 and 11:05. I would just caution you that you probably don't want to get in every single time you're getting an opportunity for a re-entry, and that of course is if you didn't get in here. If you got in here originally and got your targets and then move your stop to your entry, you were stopped out here. Here would just depend on where you got filled, but once you get your first two targets and you move your stop to your entry, you are likely stopped out here. Another thing that you could do is once you get your first targets, if you move your stop to just above the moving average here, the longer period moving average, you can use that as a way to trail your stop. But I'm not going to give anything more than break even for my stop once I get my first target. I don't mind re-entering. So totally up to you how you would like to handle that. Next opportunity, this is during lunch, and obviously you get a long setting up and worked out just fine, everything turning to green. This you weren't above the moving average just yet, so you would have ignored this one, but this one you were above the moving average over here, so it worked out fabulously actually. And this short as well, weren't below the moving average here, but you were here. And again, during lunch, so not really interested in any of those. You had one right here. You weren't above the moving average, but here you were. Notice histogram increasing in size, line moving higher. You could take that. That's still during lunch. I don't get back until 1:30. This was at 1:33. Had an opportunity for a re-entry if you didn't get in during lunch. Turning back to green here, took it, and worked out just fine. Here, another opportunity. If you moved your stop to your entry after getting your targets over here, then you were stopped out at your entry. Here was the next opportunity here at 1:49. And again, just depends on how you're managing it. I'm fine taking my first target and moving my stop to my entry. And usually I'll get the first two targets, and if it wants to pull back on my final third and stop me out at my entry, I'm still profitable. I've got my first two targets +2 +4, and then I'm stopped out at a tick better than my entry. So I'm fine with that. And like I said, 149. And then here we had a short that we took at 210. We were below the moving average on that. Basically right as we were breaking the moving average is when we got the entry, and worked out just fine. If you didn't take that first entry here, you could have had an opportunity here at 228 when we turned back to red here. These two were after 3. This was at 308. You could have taken that short here. If you wanted to take this one here when it was increasing in size, if you didn't take it here, you could have taken it at 312. And either entry worked out fine. And you did have a long setting up here at 326. I believe that you were not above the moving average until these bars here, but I'm not trading after 3:30 anyway. So I hope that helps. I know I kind of went through them pretty quickly, but on YouTube I'm limited as to the amount of time that I have for the videos. So if you want more information on the setups, you can go to www.easyminitrade.com and have a great day.